Well, it's that time again. That time where you got nothing to do and want to hear a bunch of motherfuckers talk about topics that get your mind expanding and see life in a new light. A place of no judgment. A place where you're free to ask questions with no ridicule. Well, you get none of that shit here. This shit right here is the Chillin' the Ville podcast.
Hey guys, hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Chillin' the Ville, baby.
Banger. We got our friends here, my friends here. I'm Peter. I don't know if I say last names, but you can introduce yourself.
You may know me. I'm Parker. I'm a frequent user of this channel.
I guess I'm a guest right now. I'm Derrick.
Yeah, we want him on, but right now we got him for the podcast.
I'm a special guest.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of him.
Yeah, once in a lifetime right here.
He's a good friend.
Gaston here. Good friend.
And we're gonna do our first topic.
I don't know what like everybody's plan is, but like I'm not gonna move like as soon as I graduate because it's not my ideal like plan. I want to
like just leave state type ish.
Yeah, like
Derrick's moving all the way to Colorado.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to do that. Like
Yeah,
I
goes to Barcelona.
Nah, probably not. Like I don't know. Like America has made like
If you could leave,
course.
like time leave, like get a citizenship somewhere else.
Yeah, like type shit. Like
where do you go, France?
That's always an option, but like my grandpa like used to work in Belgium a lot, and I would always want to go there. Same thing with like
Belgian fire.
Have you ever eaten a Belgian waffle?
That's
Yeah,
I hate you all.
It's fucking fire. Never from Belgium.
I've never really.
From here.
Is Belgium fire is Belgium fireplace? Like I never actually
I've
looked
never
anything into Belgium.
Like how
Every-
my dad explains it, just like he seems like because my dad went to boarding school in Belgium. Because when they were, back when he used to live in Africa, my grandpa used to do like the clothing for.
Why'd you look at me when he said Africa, Derrick?
Yeah, my grandpa used to do the clothing for their military while they were still in a dictatorship. The dictator was like Mobutu or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Your dad lived in a dictatorship?
Yeah, back in the 60s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't make a joke because I was about to.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so like all his like high seniority officers, so like him, would have to send their kids out of country because they couldn't be in country.
What the fuck?
Because think about it, if your high seniority officers' kids are like in a school with normal people, and it's a dictatorship, them people you're gonna die. And there's no. So
wild.
they had to go. He went to Belgium for basically majority of his life. So it was cool. The school still exists, and one of his teachers is still alive. She's like
One of them.
100. And, like,
Oh my gosh, are you
old.
serious?
She's old, but it's like it's cool.
Yeah, like I need to talk to my dad because he fucking lived in Cuba like before he was on the guy on the raft type ish.
My dad lived in Hopkinsville.
Yeah, I still need to ask him questions about like what the fuck Cuba. Cause I've been to Cuba like 3 times in my life, and 3 times that experience, it's like both kind of emotions of depression and wanting to shoot yourself in the fucking head, and then it's pretty fucking lit.
Well, they still have like cars from like the 60s there, don't they? Like that's.
They have like I see like modern cars like every now and then, like a Honda Civic kind of roll by, and then yeah, they still have like those, but like they're so fucked up. Like the seatbelts don't work, the seats are like torn out and shit. It's fucking weird.
No AC.
No, it's
Shit's
fucking
crazy.
dog shit out there.
Y'all remember?
You said the water was pretty though, right?
Oh, the beach was, yeah. When you swam out, like, or like when the boat like went out like deep in the water, it was like it was clear as
They
fuck.
probably don't have any pollution or anything. Like
But I probably do, but like we swam out like pretty far. It was like the water was like as deep as like it was taller than this house. How deep the water was?
How like what is like
Big ass house. I take it in a small house.
like here? It's you find a job and you just work it. Like I'm sure it's like that there. But like what? Because I know nothing about Cuba. Like, how is it?
But that's also the problem I see. Like you said, you find a job and then work. That's also the problem I have. Like I plan on opening my own business and running it by like age of 30.
Like, are you asking like what do they do for
What
jobs?
kind of business?
That'd probably be like a marketing firm,
'Cause-
like marketing agency.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to
I'm-
employ me? That's actually what I'm in college for.
Oh my
I will
goodness.
employ you happily.
You're doing a fucking
I just
interview.
don't want to work. I just don't want to be owned or worked by.
Be
to
owned,
somebody.
yeah, I feel it.
Like that's basically how I am in UPS. It's like a slavery.
Well, UPS is just taxing on everybody.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all our friends except a couple have been like made used by UPS. You know?
Yeah,
Which
like,
I would have been on like probably third shift at UPS.
Every time I see those Snapchats of our friends, though, they make it seem so fun.
Nah,
Yeah.
because it is like the people you work with is fun. It's just the bullshit you do. It's
Well,
just,
Well, you said the
activity or, like-
supervisors are ass, right?
oh yeah, supervisors are all dumbasses.
okay.
Like I can't work with somebody that I think you have the brain. Like I can't work with somebody who you have the brain IQ of a Coca-Cola.
I swear, I have a very low
I can't-
tolerance
I
for
can't.
ignorance, dude. I feel it.
Well, that's why I want to own my own business so I can like manage myself because I can't think myself as a dumbass if I'm the only manager. If I'm the
I feel
manager
it.
and the owner, like
I just think of myself as my own dumbass one.
yeah.
All right, real quick. I did have a question for Peter, just real quick. We can
About
come
2
back to
inches
the
on a good day.
UPS.
What's up?
It was just the Cuba question, just really quick.
Oh, what?
We'll about like
Cuban Missile Crisis?
no
Yeah.
about
Oh, Fidel
how
Castro.
jobs work there. Like, what is there to do there?
I don't know.
really
It's weird
quick.
because I think there's like I never asked because I do have trouble speaking. Even though I am a Hispanic family, I'm like whitewashed a lot. As you can tell probably.
Whitewash.
No, same
feel
here.
that. I feel
But like yeah, like I can understand it for a bit, but they talk like a real thick accent. Like my dad, he's like because he has jowls, but
Wait, how does he do it again?
he's like, "What up, Peter?" And he's fucking. It's hard when he speaks Spanish sometimes to me, but in Cuba, it's all that. So
yeah.
I fucking asking the question was like having to ask from my family member to that.
Yeah.
But it's weird because when we were there, I didn't see any of them do anything beside. But like they had like ducks
Yeah.
farm kind of thing. They had like
A
pig,
duck farm?
like a
Like
giant
bird
pig.
ducks?
Yeah, like that was weird. I was
Oh,
like,
duck farming.
but yeah, they had like I'm pretty sure they killed them. I know we had there when I was a kid, like like way before you guys. They had a giant fucking pig. At least it was to me, and I called him Goku. And I was his
Oh,
friend,
shit.
and I remember like loving him so much. And then I remember one day Goku wasn't there anymore.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
and
shit.
then there was a
So,
country ham on your plate that night?
No, they
Oh,
cooked some.
shit.
Yeah, they cooked some fire, but
Oh,
I didn't
no.
put it two together. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they
you
like
woke up in the middle of the
get
night
like
one day.
fucking
It's
farm
like,
animals.
He's
and shit.
gone.
Okay.
They collect like rainwater and shit, and then they fucking pump it through their shower system and shit. And the way you turn on from hot water to cold water was like literally a fucking not flashlight. It was a light switch on the wall like, next to the showers.
Wait,
Ding,
really?
and it turned
It's
hot.
actually crazy, dude.
Like before, really far back then, I remember they didn't have that. They had a you had to take a shit in a dry toilet. And they had to
Oh,
pour
fuck.
bucket. My mom would come with the buckets of water.
So
Flush
wait,
it.
I don't think I've ever asked you this, but did you live in Cuba then move to
No.
here? Or
I
were you
was
born
I
here?
was luckily born here,
I
but it was my dad who's born there, so I was like right.
Was your mom?
Close.
Where was
My
your
mom was
from?
born like Nicaragua, so like somewhere like below Mexico. I can't point it out
Oh,
for
I
you, but
got you.
Panama City. But she's born down there.
We're wild with diversity. This is
Oh.
Disney.
After
I'm the
this,
least
Yeah,
diverse
that's where I
person.
walked through. What's that one place that had all the countries?
Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot.
Yeah, I saw
Epcot's legendary.
So Epcot, I don't know if y'all ever got to do it, but a long time ago, the first ever time I went to Disney,
showed
they
you
gave
your
me
dick?
this. They gave me this stick, and there was like a head on it, right?
What the fuck? Oh, like
And-
candy or like a food?
No. It was
Oh, like a human head, okay.
It was a stick, and then the head was like a paper, like piece of paper, right? And I could draw on
Alright.
it. But like, you would go around to all the different places at Epcot, and they would give you like a stamp or something. And if you collected all the stamps from all the different countries, you got something for free. There, I can't remember what it was, but I got that shit, dude. It was so close. It was really close. Like we had to run to like Germany or something.
I think we did that, and I got
Yeah.
a soccer ball from Spain, and I remember there was like the
Yo,
river.
you got the Barcelona one, right?
Yeah, the Barcelona.
Yes.
And I had the Barcelona. I remember we were walking, but it was dark at night, and I booted it somewhere, and it fell in the little like riverbank.
Oh,
and then it
no.
was gone. I was like,
Wait, are you
bruh.
talking about, what's this thing? Because it sounds like the Perry the Platypus thing I did at that same place. There's like,
No, it wasn't that. Cause you did that on like an electronic, right?
yeah, it was like a little.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so what was this at?
This was
I wanna-
this was at Epcot.
Yeah, this is Epcot. This is it was
But then
Yeah,
I had my mishap there, and I love I think it's the best place in
mishap?
Disney.
bruh. It was.
We're not
so-
gonna talk about it because it deals with like other people besides for
Yeah.
ourselves.
You
But-
can just say we can just say like a different name. For
Yeah,
it.
Okay,
yeah. Just give
okay.
them code names.
Do you all want me to tell the story?
Just name them like colors. Be
I
like,
was-
Yeah,
Blue
I mean,
and
yeah,
Jordan were there.
Just use like code names.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've heard this.
If you
story.
slip up, like I said, it's a magic
okay.
vetting, baby.
No, I'll just say they're like the S. Okay,
Yeah.
so SC.
Who's that again? No, no.
SC.
Are those two different people or one person?
One person.
That's only one.
That's
person.
already confusing. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's switch
Okay,
it
so
up.
SC. So
Let's
South
say- let's use
Carolina.
animals.
South Carolina.
Color blue.
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 Fucking blue.
What you doing,
I gotta show you that video after this.
Okay, I got you.
You know,
shit,
yeah. But fucking blue.
Yeah,
But
SE.
all right, so just my heartfelt ass was just
Simpin ass.
I was a simp.
Hard
We
ass.
said that here when we were kids.
Bro, because
No.
we were in the because me and him were in the same fucking what's it called,
Like group,
yeah,
whatever.
group. I remember he got like the message. and
I
then
get a
he-
message like, yeah, we can hang out or whatever. I was like, bad. This chick wasn't
Your
on her
hands start
phone.
sweating.
South Carolina wasn't on her phone for like I don't know how long.
South Carolina. Is that what?
That's
Later-
actually a
later-
pretty
Myrtle
good one.
Beach.
Yeah, like later on, I'm naive. I'm in 8th grade, just wanting to get some. You know what I mean? Like during this trip, and
My
like
That's what we do.
South Carolina did not give a shit or rat's ass about me. She actually started dating Detroit after the
Big
trip because
BBC country.
they started dating literally as soon as we got back in Kentucky. But like I chased this woman down like in the
all
rain.
the countries.
all over
bro,
the
babe.
I went around the world. I was soaked. I was pissed.
You don't.
It was raining. I forgot about
believe
that.
How mad me and Jordan were. when
Bro.
we
Were you with him?
Yeah,
oh,
he
so
was.
you traveled around the world with
Because
him.
it was after we got off that like we made a roller coaster together.
Wasn't it the Hot Wheels one, or was it the?
No, the other one. Like we got on the Hot Wheels one a couple times, and then
Dude,
we.
that ride is. I'm sorry
That's
to
baby
interrupt you,
shit.
but that ride
Okay.
is. Hey, what did you say? It was stupid.
It's baby shit until the very end.
Yeah, and it just speeds you up.
That's the
That's
hard
fun.
part.
I enjoyed that.
Because there's a
ride.
part in that shit where it goes like left
yeah,
to
you
right really
stop
hard,
it.
and
Yeah,
as
that
a
doesn't feel
fat
too
fuck
good.
like going on as a ride, that shit like squeezes on my
All right,
man's
all right.
stomach.
Back to your
Yeah,
story,
bro.
Derek.
that
Sorry.
that
Sorry,
ride
sorry.
actually reminded me of like they had like a speedway ride at Kentucky Kingdom, and it was like
Speedway?
the Looney, like it was like the Looney Tunes.
They had like
It was a kiddie
Oh, yeah, I
ride.
remember what you're talking about. I know you're talking
Are
Is
you
that the
about.
one
talking
where
about the
Jared
ball
from-
pit?
No,
No, the
not
ball
that
pit
one.
was
No,
ignorant.
he was
That
talking
the
about
ball pit was the best thing that they had.
There were so
there.
many diseases in there, I bet. But
But
like my
Corona
kid ass
started
did not
there.
give a fuck. I
Corona
loved
started there. It
Was
wasn't
that the one where
bad.
Jared from Subway's chasing you behind the entire time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember that.
Yeah, but like, anyways, long story short, we see her at the very end. I don't say a word to her.
Bro, we were at the little then we go to the Chinese thing to go get food.
Yep.
Bro, we were sick. I was dripping wet. I was so
'Cause we
mad.
were
I went over there. I
soaked.
was like, "Give me some orange chicken and fried rice." I smashed that, and I
Did
just
you
got
like that?
up and
Bro,
left. I was like,
remember
I'm
I got on the ferry. I got on the
we got
ferry
with Carl, didn't we?
with
it with
Carl and
Carl Kelvin's group, like
These are all friends from us in the middle school.
Alabama and Massachusetts.
Alabama.
We're only gonna drop the names of our
Yeah,
friends.
it's-
so
it's-
Yeah, our
Yeah,
friends.
exactly.
They
Yeah, our
most of them
friends
have been
don't
on
give a
a
fuck.
channel.
Well,
I mean, I had
Alabama, Massachusetts was a girl, and she's dating
Oh.
like an old black man now.
Oh God.
They're like messaging to each other what her real name is, and yeah, that's why it's
okay,
quiet
okay, I
right now.
remember that. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
and
so yeah, whatever her name.
I
we were-
didn't get it though, so I'm sorry.
and we
yeah,
were just
you weren't
talking.
there, sadly. You were telling these middle school stories.
Helpless.
It's okay. I'm glad to hear.
Is it called a helpless romantic? Heartless.
Heartless
No,
romantic.
it's hopeless
Kingdom Hearts?
romantic.
Hopeless.
A
That's
retarded
what I
romantic.
was.
I like the
since-
retarded
I feel-
romantic.
come here,
It
Derek.
falls
Since
off.
like 3rd grade, because I had a crush on this other girl. Like 3rd grade, I just had a huge crush, and I would always have one
name was
every
Rhode
single
Island.
year.
Rhode Island.
Every single year until maybe like sophomore year of high school when I actually started dating people. And even then I just didn't know what the hell I was doing until I got into college because like my senior year was bull. But well,
That's the same thing with
yeah.
me, like, except for like that's the opposite with me because I never had an actual like full blown crush on anybody until like maybe 8th grade, and even then it was like a month, and I was like, you know what, I hate humans.
I hate humans.
And then even then I was
Wait,
like,
before we get too deep into you
Oh.
hating human race,
Oh my goodness.
what were you saying that like so you it was raining drenched, you ate some orange chicken,
oh yeah, I ate some orange chicken,
You
and
walked up to her
then I
face.
walked out because I got so bad.
everything
'cause
slowed
we-
down for you, your heartbeat was boom, 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 boom.
Well,
Everyone in Disney was staring at you.
At that point, we had all congregated together, and like I noticed she was hanging out with Detroit at that point, and then like
Damn.
because that was back when everybody had kick and stuff. So like,
Kick was legendary.
It was either
I never got into Kick. That's the thing.
Kick was legendary.
See, Kick. Sorry.
No, you're
Kick
good.
is around the time that I was just like a sheltered boy, and like I did not know how to talk to people.
No, you're good. But like,
Caged in imp.
it was just
really was.
because no, Kick was legendary. There was that legendary moment in my basement.
Oh, I remember that, dude.
Yeah.
That was great.
And
I'm gonna grab one.
okay.
I'm trying to get a Bruce.
Are you just gonna like do every other one? With the,
just puke in the fucking middle of the room?
you're gonna
Or
switch
someone was
brewski
drinking.
to screwdriver?
Long
Smearing
story
out some
short,
Bud Lights.
because I don't want to get into detail, we went around the world looking for this girl.
We did.
Later on, like it's piss pouring rain around like 4:00 in the
This
afternoon.
isn't just normal rain, bro. This is hard.
Sloppy rain.
Monsoon.
And we were there until like maybe 8, and I remember I just finally gave up. Gaston had gotten that like soccer ball. I had left, I think, on the ferry again with Alabama, Massachusetts, and like we were just talking the whole time, and like I don't know why I was by myself, but then like later on that night, I just see them all together, and I didn't say a word to her, and like it was such, I don't know, it was so stupid. And I had it was dumb.
Did she say anything? I'm trying to remember. I remember I was there because I remember I was hanging out with a whole other group. I was hanging out with Connecticut.
Oh, yep.
No, okay.
And,
Yeah.
Connecticut.
And
Connecticut.
You know, Connecticut is spelled Connecticut.
Oh, yeah, with the C. Whatever.
Dakota,
Yeah, but
North Dakota.
I remember like seeing you walk up to. I just don't remember the conversation at all. What went down? Like, did she say anything, or was it just like you saw each other and just turned around?
Yeah, I mean, we like saw each other, and then like I realized like that's just not my group. Like I made like a complete fool of myself, but like after that, that's when like that's when I got in connect with HT.
Okay, I
Yep.
think I know who you're talking
Yep.
about. I know exactly who
I
you're
know,
talking about.
I know,
Actually,
I know who you're talking
I know
about.
exactly who you're talking
That's when
about.
I got in connection with HT.
That is like, okay, so preface, that is someone who gave me and Derrick some trouble the first couple of years of high school.
I had a huge crush on her. Like I mean,
She had a huge crush on me, and
Yeah.
I kind of pushed her onto you, and it was just weird.
because
When
we
you
were
hit the 40.
we were talking for a little bit, but anyways, yeah, it was a whole. I cringe every time I think about it. Just like,
That's right.
Yeah.
but
those
it's
cringy
such an
moments, it
awful.
happens.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, like it's
HT, huh?
it's middle school, dude. Like,
Dude, I didn't know you knew her that long.
yeah, she went to our middle school before she went to,
Hell.
you know, her
Probably
different
the
high school.
Streets.
The streets.
That's where they all
No,
go
she
to
went.
in
She
the
went. She didn't even go to the suburbs. She went to the woods.
She wasn't on the
She went to
streets.
the fucking woods
She
like
wasn't on
a
the
girl.
streets. She was on the sidewalks. She
Yeah,
went to
basically
Most definitely.
on fucking escalators.
those little walkways in the airports.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a simp for something. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It literally happens to everybody. At
That
least
happens
once
to
in
the
a-
best of.
Dude, I just figured out some Derrick lore. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Known facts about Parker lore. I saw it on his history. I saw him. He was watching My Life as a Teenage Robot porn. He simps
Okay,
for her.
so you know the thing is that okay, you're not necessarily wrong because there was one
What?
time. There's one time I was like, okay, let me think about this,
Robot pussy.
and I checked it out, and
Wait, you did? Wait, so you're admitting?
well, I mean, yeah, because
Okay,
you
okay,
kind of
okay.
called me out, but it was like, but I mean, like it wasn't that great though, so I just kind of.
I mean, it never is. Like I always seen like I remember as a kid seeing like cartoon
it's like Peter
caricatures.
getting fucked by Lois or something like.
Yeah, like those. I remember.
What
as
the
a-
fuck are y'all looking up?
You can look it up.
it's
That's the ads, dude.
It's the
That's the
ads, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was saying like, but like, have you ever seen like as a kid you seen like a character and it's like, wow, she's hot, and then you seen her with the drawn naked and it's just not as hot as
It's
it
not
is.
the same.
Yes,
It's not.
it's never built the same.
As a kid, they really back in our day, they really like sexualized a lot of cartoons.
Which
That's
one
what
did you
I
watch?
got.
Which one did you watch that like took your interest? You were like,
If I was completely honest, it would be Teen Titans and it would be Raven.
Raven?
Dude, oh
She's
my
tough.
God,
It
dude.
was Teen Titans, Raven. Every
I think
day.
she had. I think she's the one that kind of started my short hair crave.
So
Okay.
y'all know How to Train Your Dragon? I
Oh
forgot her
my
name, but the girl in that
God.
with the
Wanted to stick
blonde
your fat
hair
cock in
was
the
like
dragon?
my crush. Like I was like
Oh, the
praying.
girl. Oh, the guy he fucks.
I was
Wait, the
praying
guy,
that I
the
would
girl?
become Hiccup so I could have her as a girlfriend for a time, dude. It was pretty cringe, but I was like, I really want to be Hiccup so I can have a bad bitch like her.
Bad bitch like the guy from
Dragon.
And he has a
Wild.
dragon too, but that's not what I was worried about.
This dragon was the
I just
equivalent of
wanted
like
that
driving a
that
fucking
tang,
Audi.
you know.
That fucking CGI tang. Was that your sexual awakening or whatever?
It really was, honestly, like, cause that her.
How old was that movie?
I want to say I was like 12 when
Was
that came
like
out.
2000?
I'm saying, was that the
10
moment?
probably.
Was that the moment, like I was talking about earlier, that moment where you're just like, oh, what is this world of, what the fuck is this?
Okay, so I think my real sexual awakening was so it was after a football game a long time ago. I was a kid, and one of my mom's friends.
Oh, we're getting into this conversation. No, this is what I dreaded.
I mean, who cares, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
So my mom's friend, she was particularly
Lisa
blessed with a rather large bosom, okay? And like she was wearing a rather low cut shirt, okay? I was young, okay? I don't know how young, but I was young, okay? And I didn't know how to properly act in social environments, okay? Mm-hmm. My dumbass was just staring like directly, like it was like I wasn't even trying to hide it. Like I was like, oh my god, you know. And my mom, she actually told me this story a couple years ago. Excuse me. She met her again for like first time in a long time, right? And of course, she noticed that I was dead ass, like just glancing, right? I was staring. And she was like, how's my little booby baby doing? Ooh. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? She's like, about to...
Booby baby?
Yeah, she calls me her booby baby, so...
Booby baby.
That's when you finally discovered the world of breast?
Yeah, but I think that was my first sexual awakening.
Can I tell mine?
Yeah,
Let's
go
just
ahead.
get
Go
it
ahead.
fucking over with.
Go down the
like-
circle.
All right, so there's two.
Oh, God.
Wait,
How do you have two?
Well, like.
Did you
like
wake
super-
up and then fall back asleep?
No,
or like...
no, like it was like, all right, I got two. The first time I ever like got hard that I remember.
That's
God.
I was watching Soul Plane, and there's like this couple the entire time that are like having sex everywhere on the plane, and I hated that
How old
movie.
were you? How were you allowed to watch this?
I think I was like, yeah, it was so like it was this couple that would have sex like everywhere on the plane. Like you would just, it was like an Easter egg pretty much. Like they were just trying to find places to have sex on the plane.
Yeah.
And like I hated that movie because I would just be like, yo, like my pee-pee feels different. Like every time I watch that, I'm like, what the fuck? And like I hated that movie, and like I was that's how I got into like Forrest Gump, because it didn't make me feel that way. But like, all right, so that was that story. But then there was like, my grandpa had passed away, and my grandma was like getting rid of all of his old stuff, and she found like she like had his DVDs just out in the open, and like I
Like
see
porn
them.
DVDs?
Yeah, it was just porn DVDs, and I see it, and I was just like, now I can't stop thinking about him. And you know, it was like 9:30 at night, Christmas night of like 20.
Christmas night.
It was
That was
like
a real gift.
20, not 20. It was like, yeah, it was 2010. I think it was. No, it was 2009 at 9:30. I just went to my bathroom, and I was just like, and I was freaking the fuck out
Oh
after
my God.
after everything happened. I was just like, dude, I can't. I'll never be able to pee again. Like I was so fucking scared. But that was pretty much. I was like, yeah. And then later on, maybe 3 years later, I sat down with myself and I said, would I like to have a penis in my ass?
I mean, that's the biggest question
Well,
you
like
can ask yourself. Yeah.
exactly. It's
I
just
mean,
like
that's like the deal breaker there, I guess.
Well,
so
I'm
you
saying,
saw it,
like-
you saw anal, as they're saying?
no. I'm saying like, am I gay? Like I
Oh,
sat
yeah,
down
yeah,
with
yeah.
myself. I said, would I like this? Then I said,
No.
no, I wouldn't. All right,
That's
move on with my life. So that was
I mean, you
pretty
gotta-
much mine. Yeah,
Yeah, just pretty much sat there and talked to yourself.
yeah.
My first sexual awakening was probably like, because again, I was a very
Yes, and
shel-
saw a telephone pole. Was like, damn.
That's a bad bit.
Whoa.
My first, it was like, again, I was a very sheltered kid, so I never really, like, my mom and dad would, like, restrict my, like, fucking phone and TV privilege. They wouldn't let me watch, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like, Pokemon
Me neither.
until,
That was
like, when
my
I was
mom.
a kid, I used to watch it, and then they were like, nah, you can't watch this no more. Then I,
Yeah.
like, I would sneak away and watch it.
Yu-Gi-Oh's for the devil when I was a kid.
Dude, it was Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy for me. Like,
Yeah, they would.
I still watched it.
Yeah,
I
they
did
would not
not
let me.
care.
I had to watch like Bible Man on fucking TBN.
Bible Man? What the fuck is that?
Bible Man? Do you not know what Bible Man?
I know
is?
Bible Man.
Bible Man was like the original like.
I always watch
Superman.
VeggieTales.
Yeah, VeggieTales and Bible
VeggieTales
Man.
was
That's
hard
all I could
though.
watch.
Like
in front of
VeggieTales
them.
was good though. Like
Yeah.
VeggieTales.
And then
You
they
guys had a
loosened up
fucked
and let me
childhood.
watch
Mine
it.
was South Park. And
and that's how Peter turned out to
Family
be
Guy.
Peter.
Yeah,
That
but
was Blue
like.
Clues.
Oh,
Yeah.
my first awakening was back in 5th grade when I had my 5th grade teacher. I'm not gonna say her name, but her name was already like added up to her name had sex in it. Like it was already over.
Wait,
It
what?
was like
Lady name.
yeah.
Yeah, so like this teacher was like 20. I want to say she was like 28, 29. She was like barely. She wasn't even 30 yet.
Yeah.
She
was
she
bad.
literally graduated college in Tebow, and she
And
had the
it
hugest
came.
crush on Tid. When I tell you, this teacher out of like a 10 was definitely a 12. Like she
Oh,
was
damn.
Oh no.
she was prime. She wore no bra sometimes. Like
Damn, so she's
bruh,
perking.
yeah, and her ass was fat as hell. The tits was firm and tough. I was like, I remember
Just from
was
staring at it, you can tell.
yeah, bro. I remember one day. I remember this day exactly. It was like the second or third week. I remember like she was helping a student like in front of us, and I was sitting next to one of our other friends. I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna call him E. And he was like, "You see that?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "You see that? That is prime material." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I stared, and then I awakened myself. It was like, I think I like ass and titties from now on. And then I was like, you know what? I like ass and titties from now on. I remember that day I got like the hardest fucking like I've never been this hard before. I remember I went to my mom. I went to my mom that next day, and I was like, you know what? I think I don't need. I shouldn't be wearing like underwear no more. The very next day, I got like 500 pairs of boxers. So
Oh,
I'm
like
not
tidy
wearing-
whities.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I was like, I'm not wearing no underwear no more.
You gotta let them bitches breathe.
Yeah, that shit need to breathe.
I still wear briefs though.
I
like,
can't.
cause I
That
just I don't know boxers like I wear jeans. So like it's just kind of harder to wear boxers for me. I don't know
I
because
mean,
I'm
my cock
skinny.
retracts into my body as a safety mechanism, so it's good for me. I can wear whatever.
If, like a
I
fucking
can't.
turtle.
I can't wear boxers. I can't wear.
I was a big
underwear
proprietor of tidy whities for a bit. I remember.
Me too,
I
dude.
think it
Dude,
was
I rock that shit all the time.
What did you stop with?
Crazy.
Like, say, like from school wise, like middle school, high school. Where did you
I
stop?
stopped in 5th grade.
I still have a pair of tidy whities. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, they're universal. Like
yeah,
it's a pair of
universal.
heels.
There's no
Yeah.
shame in it.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
I have to wear the boxers.
I wore it till I think
so.
until freshman maybe.
Mm.
Freshman high school. That's when I stopped wearing tidy whities.
no, it's
That's
probably
why I was like, I knew tidy whities were kind of a down thing in middle school. That's why I refused to change in the locker rooms with people because I was like, never
I
liked
could
tidy
change
whities.
confidently because I had the Calvin Klein.
yeah.
My sexual awakening.
Oh, yeah,
here we
back
go,
to
here we
this.
go.
Go ahead.
Peter been-
Mine's weird compared to yours, but mine I remember.
I mean, mine was pretty weird.
I mean, yours is kind of weird. You're just staring at some tits, but I remember mine. My dad was next to me. We were
Titties are
laying on the
powerful.
floor.
Wait, your dad was your sexual awakening?
Yeah, so I was cocking. I'm like, ooh.
This is sus.
We were laying on the floor, and I still don't. I never asked him, but to this day, I don't know. He was on the TV, like let's say, like on the floor, both of us on the floor. I was like, he was kind of like on my head. I was armed around my neck, just laying on his shoulders, being a kid, and he was watching porn.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, damn.
And it's just the TV comes on, and every time porn scenes would happen, he'd cover my eyes. And then once the scene would stop, he'd uncover them, and then it'd still go back to the shitty plot
Why
scene.
didn't he just move you out of the room?
I don't
He
know.
watched
That's why,
it for the
that's why I
plot?
still don't know. But
He watched it.
I
It's
remember,
like, son, you got to learn about the porn plot here. Okay?
Dude, HBO.
it was HBO.
So,
That's where
dude,
it was all.
That was
the plot was
uncensored.
like some
That-
weird, like ancient Egyptian shit. It was so weird.
I'm telling you, like they found a way to get porn on there, and then they just stopped doing it. They were like, "We're not doing mainstream."
They probably-
Except for
they
Game of
probably got
Thrones.
caught
Game of
from
Thrones
what's
is
going-
basically porn in certain times.
But like, they had like House of Porn. They had like
They had like Hotel
the-
Erotica.
They had
yeah.
yeah, they had the Bunny Ranch.
4 or 5.
Do you remember
Bunny
that?
Ranch? I don't know. I remember this one caveman looking guy always being on one of those. But I don't know.
They
But
literally had a show called like History of Sex or
yeah,
something like that.
I
Like,
don't
they
remember.
were-
I just remember always seeing Hotel Erotica and then these like 2 other ones, like at like fucking 2 in the morning, just because I'd say I
Mhm.
want to watch them. But
Zack
yeah,
and Murray make a
so
porno.
like, he kept doing that for a while, and then finally he fell asleep, and then the scene was coming up, a porn scene was coming up, and this dude was in the middle of the hallway, and these 2 girls with big fat tits came out and like just flashes him in the middle of a public area, and I was just like, I looked at my dad waiting for the eyes to cover up, and he was just, and I was just like, just back and forth whipping my neck at the screen, like, what's happening? And I don't know what the hell. She shows her tits, and then like the scene of them like having sex would happen, and then there's like a Egyptian woman came out of the fucking coffin, and then they had lesbian sex, and she turned into a dust and skeleton, and I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then I just started watching HBO frequently. I'd watch
Dude,
that shit all the time.
I'm telling you, like Zach and Murray make a porno. That was a point in my life where I was like watching the shit all the time because I was in middle school. But like I would like keep it for my mom, you know what I mean? Like it was the stuff that she wasn't paying for, but it was part of like our plan.
Mm-hmm.
So like it would be like late at night, and I'm just sitting here on like the freaking the leather couch, just dick out, just
Oh my god!
like just watching this movie because Katie Morgan was in it.
Katie Morgan.
I think no, I don't think Sasha Grey was in it, but it was another chick. I can't
Just going
remember
down
her
the
name.
list.
List of
Of
porn.
But I mean, like you know, it's a Seth Rogen movie. So I was like, it's a comedy.
Which one is this?
Zach and Murray make a porno, and like they fall in love while having sex. They're like, they're not fucking. They're having like it was
They're
so
passionate
stupid.
sex.
Yeah, it was just.
Oh fuck!
And they were fucking in
Jizz
a
erupts on the camera screen.
in like a Starbucks.
They're fucking in a Starbucks.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Fell in love with a Starbucks.
yeah, they fell in love in like a fake Starbucks. It's a good movie, but like at the time,
was it like softcore porn though? Like it showed tits and then nothing else.
yeah, because like Katie was just getting.
Getting pounded.
Yeah, it was wild, and I think her name was Tara. I don't remember the other girl. She was like, yeah, it was weird. It's a good movie though. I haven't seen
They
it
put
since.
this on
but-
HBO.
Yeah, it's that and Don John. That movie is a 10 out of 10.
I remember on HBO, dude. I swear they should have get sued for this. There's an HBO porno called not Donkey Kong. What was the big other gorilla on the Empire State Building? King Kong. There was literally one called King Kong, and I was surrounded by entire family this time.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's just watching shows to watch. And I pick a fucking show, and I clicked on King Kong, and it was like the worst CGI porno, and it was just like this fucking white dude pounding this black chick in like fucking like jungle outfit, like she's like a fucking native.
Oh my gosh.
They're screaming at me. And I was like, no! And I remember Spider Woman. I knew she was a hero.
She's bad.
And I remember
sure
looking.
she
I
is.
saw on HBO Spider Woman, and I clicked on that, and it was like a porno version of Spider Woman. It was like the Spider-Man scene with Tobey Maguire fighting in the wrestling ring.
I wasn't aware that
They were like wrestle for like 5 seconds, like like suplex them on the fucking ground, breaking necks, and then like it would flash white, and they're just like and they're just like licking each other and shit. I'm like, what the fuck's
one
happening?
of her
Oh
one
my
of her
God.
original panels is her naked, like legit. She's on a because me and
Guess I'm
my
going into
girlfriend
comics
talked
now.
about this, and after because the guy showed the panel off at some convention recently. I think it was back in like 2015 or something like that, and he got like a lot of criticism for it. But I just saw it kind of like it was never shown. You know what I mean? So at that point, like she like comics back then, to sell them, you'd have the sexual appeal.
Like, only the specific like women one, or are you talking about like all of them?
No, I'm talking about the woman one,
okay.
like just Spider Woman, like Jessica
Captain
Drew.
America, or not Captain America. What's that bitch name? Sorry, I didn't mean to say bitch. What's that female's name?
You
Captain
said-
Marvel.
Oh,
you know
Marvel.
women hate females just as much as bitch, right?
Yeah, that's
Fucking
what I'm
bitch.
just like,
Yeah.
you just have to say
But I
about
said it
You
so
just say
casually, like
man.
I despise women.
You're
I
good.
appreciate women in their
Yeah.
labias.
You,
And they're like, oh my gosh.
oh god.
You got pause this
But-
again.
Pause. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Like originally the topic, we were
Yeah.
talking about Spider Woman's titties.
Oh, yeah. But basically, like, yeah, to sell comics, they had to like basically skin tight suits and everything. Like Spider
They're all
Woman is
skin
one of
tight
the
suits,
first.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, yeah, but
I
like,
mean, nowadays it's not because like the social justice.
but
thing,
like,
but-
you know, you see like you know, a nip outline and stuff like that. Like,
Oh, okay. See that?
yeah,
shit.
whenever she first like appeared,
fucking
you could
pulsating
just see,
clit and
yeah,
shit.
you could just
Oh my
see
God.
everything. Like it was her vagina and everything. Like it was crazy, and he like released that. But now, because I follow the story now, and it's just she got a whole new suit and everything.
Actually, this is a good transition for like the Xbox or the PlayStation debate. Like,
Oh, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna get both. There's no debate for me.
I mean, I'm gonna get a PlayStation. I want to
I
get.
mean, yeah, I'm gonna get that probably. I mean, I don't know.
I want to get PlayStation, but I'm not even gonna try to get an Xbox. I'm probably gonna get a Switch. Like, most
Switch
definitely.
is the best investment I've made in a while.
Yeah, I see that.
I
It's like,
haven't
just want
made the
my
investment
Pokemon.
back yet. Because, I don't know, there hasn't been a game that's stuck with me on the Switch where I played
What
it.
are you talking
I
about?
did,
There's so many good games
I
on
did
the Switch.
Animal Crossing. I went to the fat of that shit. Played it for like
I
a
hate
week.
that
Breath of the
game.
Wild.
And then I played that, but like I already watched like fucking videos of it
Ah,
before.
so
Because I didn't
you
own a
ruined
Switch
it.
back
Yeah.
then. Like, how long was Breath of the Wild? 2018? That's fucking 2 years ago. I didn't have a Switch back then. I only got
Yeah.
it this or like 2019.
Plus, everybody played it.
So I watched a
Oh,
shit ton of
that's
videos
right.
on fucking Breath of the Wild. So when I play it now, I'm like, I
Nah,
know this
you-
shit already. So
That's why I don't like. To do
And then Luigi's Mansion, I played it, and then I just stopped. I don't know.
Luigi's Mansion, I've had so much fucking fun playing.
See, that was-
I had so much fun playing that and Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey within itself
too,
is
I
worth
also-
buying the Switch because that is a great game and is legendary.
Yeah,
know,
I,
but
mean, is
I
it?
always ruin it when I
It's
watch
made on
videos.
like a upgraded engine from like the Wii one.
Yes.
Yeah, and like that's why I wanted a Switch for the longest time for just Odyssey.
I was
I
excited
wanted
for the
just
Pokemon,
Odyssey.
but I remember,
Are you talking
I
about
just remember
Sword and
people saying it was
Shield?
just not as good, and
I mean, I
just didn't want to buy
I've
it.
seen gameplay of it, and like my brother's friend had it, and I was like, bro, this shit looks kind of.
So-
I still need to buy what's that? What's the Nintendo DS?
3DS?
I need to buy like the actual ones on there because I still have the one you got me up there.
Oh yeah, did you ever fucking finish that game that I fucking love? You fucking piece of shit.
Everybody listening, play Hollow Knight.
So
Everyone listening, play Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story and finish it before Peter does.
Everyone-
because I
Inside
gave her
Story's hard.
ideas. I
everyone
never finished
listening,
it.
you gotta watch it, Soccer Spirit with your close family and friends.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone
no.
listening, please twiddle your pubes into twine and send them to whatever this address is.
If anyone listening, go to your parents and put your hand in your pocket and say you got a gun and you're gonna go to school with it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone
let's not
listening
do
to
that.
this,
See what
anyone
they do.
listening to
Record
this,
it, post it on Twitter, and we'll post it like in a compilation.
anyone listening to this, just ram your head into a blue Yeti.
Dude, it's only 4:11, and I've drank 5 of these.
Is there one more?
We're
Or-
about to.
So
Yeah,
speaking
there's-
of,
where's
we
the
just
pink-
hit the hour mark. Do you want to end this
Let's do the
podcast?
let's do the
start another
crazy
one,
let's do
or-
the crazy 1 hour podcast special. Run around in circles and scream.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Like a
let's do
Chinese, what
Let's
is
go
it,
for like
Chinese
say
fireman?
20
So-
minutes or 30 minutes.
We just hit another 20 or 30.
20. Let's say another 20.
All right. You all
Another
got
top-
lucky
I have a
today,
top-
I guess.
I got a topic real quick. Is
Okay.
if you can toss me something to consume.
Do you want a beer or
The
you want a
pink-
real
I wanna
man's
see the-
drink?
I want the pink Whitney.
Oh, you want, oh.
I want Whitney to come inside of my ass.
Wow.
But my question was, I saw, and I think I said it on Xbox earlier, was that Tesla shit or that what Musk
Do
was
you
saying?
have a cup or something you could pour this into? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to put down my mic. I'll just put
Yeah, he
down
won't
my
be
mic.
talking, but he'll
Yeah.
hear it.
I'll take the rest of it.
Yeah, we've been drinking. If y'all have been able to tell.
Is Musk? I saw a thing on. I don't know. I saw like Elon Musk, the man, the myth, the meme legend. He. I saw something about him doing the classic putting a chip in your fucking head. You know, remember that, the chip in your head to listen to music.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, he's talking about like I think you're talking about. He's trying to combine human mind and AI so that we can have like unlimited knowledge or something like that.
No, he said there's like he said something about this chip to put in your brain to listen to music.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You would be able to do that with that AI chip.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't. That's the.
You wouldn't do that. He said you have to put it in the center of your fucking brain. Like,
Right.
How
You'd be able to like okay, so
are they doing it for
theoretically,
free, but doing examples, or like are they just?
No, you're gonna have to
Theoretically-
pay for it.
theoretically your mind would become the internet. So you'd be able to just look up anything, you know.
I mean, it's not too strong, but it's kind of, it gets the hit.
Yeah, I mean, I got something pretty light. It's vodka, but I mean, it's not like
Not straight vodka.
Yeah, it's not Smirnoff. It's
Yeah.
not to get you there. It's more.
But there, you can listen to your favorite tunes and you just think about it, but like play.
My
fucking-
fear is, I know
Chumbawamba.
Peter. I know Peter. You've watched it. I don't know if anyone else watched it. Sword Art Online.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
my
different.
fear.
of it.
No, but like it's the same thing because basically they're using like a 3D headset, but this one's gonna be a chip in your mind. So it's like they're already in. So like
But I'm
imagine
telling this one,
day-
like the way he explains it, like there's no other way to get a fucking chip in your brain without surgery.
yeah, obviously.
So like, that's different from when you put a helmet on.
Well, they put it
I mean, but
in
the
your
helmet
brain
you can
when
take
you
it
were-
off anytime you don't
That's what I'm
want
saying.
it.
So,
The
like,
chip, you're done.
I do that rather than the fucking chip.
Dude, I bet you get like a brain tumor from it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like it hasn't been tested.
Like
There's somebody's gonna have a fucking giant
that
balloon-sized
shit's
tumor.
like degradable. Like,
But I bet whoever like is the first guy who wants it, I bet they're paying that dude.
Okay, so I have another theory, okay? And this builds off what you were saying.
How theory of evolution is fake as fuck.
Well, no, it actually has to deal with evolution. Actually, I'm glad that you said that. So I made a theory that natural selection, at least in a country like America, doesn't really exist anymore. There are obviously people out there who don't have.
You're saying natural selection doesn't exist?
You know what natural
Natural,
selection?
Hey,
I
I
feel
say
like
it does
natural
exist.
selection evolved over time. I don't feel it's
Right.
like it still exists.
There's definitely
It's still.
examples
So-
of natural selection.
Yeah.
So let me explain. So
COVID parties are
so
definitely
for
an
example, there's a kid that is born with
Piece of
like for
shit.
example, my sister has cerebral palsy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Really? What's
Yes.
that again? Is that the...
Well, basically, it's like she can't really walk that well.
Mm-hmm.
But in theory, so like back in the day, if she was born with cerebral palsy,
No, we talked about this on the Xbox.
Oh, so you're giving examples of like keeping like people alive now.
right? So that's what I'm saying. So like my little sister, I love her to death.
Yeah.
But if it was like 400 years ago,
She would have been
she would have been
X'd out,
out,
like
you know.
X
But
Factor.
now we have the ability to accommodate for people like her.
But I
right?
think, yeah, I agree with, exactly. I agree with that. But I feel like it changed natural selection.
right, because there are still examples of people. Obviously, there are people who are better off than other people, and that is a form of natural selection. But for the majority of the time, if you're living in a place like, you know, our country, if you have a disability, you are able to get help, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that may lead to us not evolving as a species and us just staying the same, you know, because the whole
but
point of a mutation, right? Well, it's random, obviously, but how we evolve is a mutation, right?
But most of these things are genetic based before. Like, I feel like natural selection is more of like breeding than anything. Like,
Right.
the strong will breed with strong, and then they have.
Definitely.
The reason why I say natural selection still exists is because I think, like, you can form of natural selection is like I said, that COVID party shit. There's like, there's people that are like stupid fucking
Right.
R words. Fucking,
It
this doesn't exist. Goes to a COVID party, then dies a week later. It's like that's natural selection. That the dipshit that decided to do that was a dumbass, and he got taken out because it was. I think that's like a form of.
I mean,
natural
like,
Right.
I say it like this. It's like natural selection. Obviously, it's not like 400 years ago where someone is a paraplegic and isn't born with an arm. They're not like, oh, he's cursed by the devil, kill him.
Right.
Or stuff like now it's mostly like, yeah, people get help, but I feel like also it's like those genetics are most likely not going to pass down.
Yeah, they're
'Cause
definitely.
Right.
I
gonna
don't
keep passing
know
down.
like
They
the
should-
rate for like and people who are like mentally challenged about
Right.
having kids or anything, but obviously they're not going to have a higher rate than just a normal dude.
Also-
we just call it, to make it like universal in like the bio world, we just call it fitness. So it's just
Natural
pretty
fitness.
much
Natural fitness.
like no, we just like it's just flat out fitness. Like fitness has like its own definition. Like when it comes to biology, it's like we don't even use natural selection anymore because we've come to a point where it's like almost anybody can live maybe 30 years like
Right.
after they're born.
So, sorry, continue.
No, you're good. What was it?
I have a big point. So
Oh,
I thought you
but
were done.
it's just like if you're able to live, then you're going to. But it's just kind of like it goes back into the whole baby mama thing. Like it's just like, what are you doing to survive and make children that are able to sustain your, I don't know, your genes and stuff like
Right.
that. So it's just at that point, it's not even up to you anymore. After you parent these kids, they're just gonna carry on your genes, and if they can't,
My question for
You're
you is,
getting
what would
cut
you
off.
do if you had a kid and a priest came to you and told you that it's like, this boy is the Antichrist?
then I would wait till the kid grows up.
You
Because
wouldn't kill him?
Huh?
You wouldn't kill the baby?
I wouldn't kill- I wouldn't-
Obviously, if he knew he was, if he already knows that you know, it's already over.
I feel like you'd be able to pick out if your kid was the Antichrist.
Well, like I mean, in like
like, you know,
Revelation,
like, okay,
Kid,
so
I-
examples of like, so like you start having nightmares when he starts reaching a certain age and about him, and then like,
I might put him up for adoption.
but
honest
what's
to
the
God.
Bible say? The Bible says the birth of the Antichrist is the end of
it's
the
a
world.
42nd
But
trimester abortion.
Wouldn't you grab a
in
chainsaw?
in the Bible, it also says you won't, like people won't know that it's the Antichrist.
Really?
Yeah,
because everyone like what do you like?
They think it is Jesus.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
Yeah, he'll come
It's
in
the
and do,
first
like,
coming
a bunch of
before
stuff.
the second. Like that's why they call it the second
But if
coming.
we know this, what if we? Fuck, that's
You
confusing.
knowing something.
What if actual
improving it would
Jesus
be
comes
hard.
up and we beat the dog shit out of him?
Because
That's
it'll,
how it
it'll-
works.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It'll be
how
the
it works.
first. It'll be the first Jesus, and we'll
Jesus
be like, nah.
Jesus shows up. He's like, my sons, I have.
It's the Antichrist.
Well, like the only reason why we'll know, or like Christians, if you believe in
Yeah,
that
if you
faith,
Jewish
is
viewers
just,
out there, you're not allowed in.
like they still, I'm pretty sure,
Sick
believe
fucks.
like the Messiah has never came, like yet. Like
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
still,
he can.
yeah.
It's illegal.
But
He
it's
can't
just
come.
like for Christians, it's like that first person
Yeah,
that shows up and
I'll
starts
peep
doing
that, I'll peep
miracles.
that.
Like everybody that starts doing miracles, that first person, no, that's the Antichrist. Like that's in Christianity lore, quote unquote.
So,
So-
I have a question. So if there's the Bible and it comes down to I mean, I was gonna topic. It's gonna be like questioning, but
No, I mean it's fine.
if the
it's whatever.
devil exists, wouldn't he know the Bible? He reads it. He's like, so this is how I'm gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also the thing about like knowing your like say like that's also the like the mindset of like I'm trying to explain it. Fuck, I forgot what my train of thought.
doubter.
No, it's like the mindset of like how people know. People are like, oh, if God knows that I'm going where I'm going, it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I do. And I was like, but you don't know. That's the thing. God knows where you're going, but you personally don't know where you're going. So it's just like where you're going determines on what you're going to do. Are you going to actually? Yeah, because people are like, how like because I talked to a couple of other guys in Xbox. And I remember they're like, bro, if he knows where we're going, everything we do doesn't matter. I was like, no, he knows where you're going. But just you can decide where you're going.
It's never predestination because he gave us
like that. Actually.
He
it's like
gave us
history.
free will,
That's what I'm
though.
saying. History, like the book, your name hasn't been written in the book of life yet, but it hasn't not been written in yet.
Yeah.
So it's also like he knows where you're going. It's just what you do is going to decide where you're going. That's it.
Yeah,
Just
but
like,
in
it's
the
better.
end, I never thought of that though. I've always thought it was like predetermined,
yeah.
but that's actually a good way to
No,
think
it's
about it.
not predetermined at all, in my opinion, because like the first thing he did with man was give us free will.
Yeah, that's not.
Like it's the very first thing that he ever did, and then after that, it was
Except you
just-
couldn't eat from the tree.
Yeah, but
you
like
could. That was
once
the
we
only
have-
rule, but everything. But
Why would
the
he plant
female
that tree
fucked
there
it
if he
up.
couldn't eat it? I'm not, I mean, like,
It's just it's the same thing as like, you know, if you're gonna be like a devout Christian, which
Yeah.
I guess
I guess you
gotta
gotta show temptation to see
That's
if you
why
can.
I
Yeah,
like
exactly. Because
That's why I don't
Well,
like.
so
when-
isn't that big? The first people, the first creations he made were just like fuck ups, and then like what?
females were given the birth of a lifetime. You know, like they give birth and it feels worse than fire. And then like males just kind of like it.
They eat wings, watch football games, like you know.
I
Punch their
don't-
kids.
God stole one of our ribs and made Eve out of it.
Yeah,
So
but
what
then,
does that
like,
mean? So is there like a missing rib, like on everyone's uneven? What the fuck does that mean?
I feel
Or
like
is that just
I
a-
feel like Adam was born uneven, like with one extra rib.
I'm
Like,
saying,
God
is he
probably
just say that because
He
men
took a
have uneven
rib-
ribs, or is it like just saying that?
He took a rib, mixed it with dirt, and created Eve.
Yeah.
Because the way I
Is what
always
happened.
assume that one is like, oh, men have like uneven amount of ribs on each side because of that. Okay.
No, we
It's
still.
that
I
one
think
instance.
it's.
We just have one less than females, I think.
Is that
I
what it
mean,
is?
that might be it. I don't
If
know.
that's the
I
case,
don't know
Because I
the
do remember
anatomy.
hearing something like that. But I mean, we could also just be speaking of her ass.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
All of
I
this is
mean-
cap. Understand?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All of this-
exactly.
I should
We're all-
probably preface it that we're drunk. We're like some of us drunk. We won't. Gashin's a sober man, but like
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of us
So
are
I just
drinking.
talk out of
None of
pocket.
this we say. Please do not take this to heart at
yeah,
all.
exactly. It's pretty much just because I have my understanding of who God is because I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
live with the idea of there not being an afterlife, even if there isn't one. I couldn't live with there wouldn't like not because at that point
So if
no
you
matter
knew there
what-
was none, you say you'd be like pressed.
I'd probably kill myself.
Okay.
Like honest to God, like honestly, but like I said,
Pull a
like
boat of your fucking.
Like, all this is pointless.
yeah, exactly. Like I would be like, bro, this doesn't.
That's the point.
Matter.
That's when you. But then, like, I mean, what's the difference of you saying there is a God and like everything you do is your choice to do something? Like, if there's nothing there, it's like, oh, that's still the same option. You got to fuck
I
whatever
feel
you
like
want to
there
do for
is
that life.
I feel like
Yeah,
there
it
is
gets
a
complicated
like,
with
but I
that,
also
yeah.
still feel like
The
there
bad
is
thing about
a-
it is because we die at the end, it don't matter. So like I can do what I want, and then when I die, it's like, oh fuck, it's pressing, and then
It's just.
And then after
nothing
that,
else.
it's like, I mean, it doesn't matter. Unless.
I mean, but it's also
like I
like
said, I don't know.
I feel like there
It
is.
helps me mentally.
Yeah,
if that
I
makes
feel
sense.
like that's why I feel like religion does exist. It helps people mentally because if people are like, "There's nothing at the end of life," they would just be buck
I say
wild.
that-
Dude,
I
I would
like,
lose like.
back then.
I even get anxiety thinking about that myself
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I,
your
I
mortality.
deal,
But
I
especially
deal with
back
that
in high
shit.
school, I used to get like a little high off thinking that. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, because like I remember like I stay up a lot late nights, and then I'm like thinking of shit, and I'm like, okay, like I'm like, what's the thought of death? And then I think about what's after death, and I just think of darkness. I'm like, and I have this actual like inner feeling of something.
that's-
I'm like, what
that's-
is that?
I
Feeling?
don't know if I should say this. But what's the closest y'all felt like y'all were
Popping
going to
yourself?
die? Oh,
That
wait,
that I
what?
that
Are you talking
I
about killing
wanted,
yourself?
that
No,
I-
like no, not like killing yourself. Like
Oh,
what's
I
the
think-
closest you've like felt like, hey, I might.
My
die?
kidneys were
That's-
getting me in
that's-
trouble for a little bit
That was
there.
so like when you felt.
Like,
Oh,
the
like a
closest
near-death
you ever, Yeah, the
experience.
closest you ever felt. Like
I've had
near-death,
two
like-
different experiences. One was I was at a friend's house and we're doing the trampoline where there was like 4 people and they like time and bounce you straight up in the fucking
Oh
air.
yeah, I've done
As
that
a kid, I
before.
did that and I didn't time it all. I just jumped and then I just did an arc. Like my head was just falling backwards, about to land on my neck, and everything just slowed down. I just went going, oh, and then I grabbed a tree branch, went, and just
Oh,
smacked on the
damn.
ground.
Oh,
And I was like,
shit.
Quick thinking there.
Oh,
and then the second time was
shit.
I was with my friend. It was recently, probably like 2 months ago. It was my friend. We were doing drugs. we were doing something, we were drug, whatever. And it was hot weed, but I was just so high, and then we were driving really fast in the car, and everything was just hitting me super hard. My heart was going, and I felt like I was about to have a heart attack, like right then and there. I was like in the middle of the highway. I was like, stop the fucking car, pull over. I felt like I needed to go to the
Dude,
hospital.
that's how I feel every single time
You do,
I get high.
yeah.
Like,
I
it's-
swear.
it's-
That was the first time, and I was like, this is what Derrick feels. That's awful.
No, because like,
But I still do
it. Dude, it was the medication that I was taking, but it's also the fact that I'm just like I'm high anxiety every day. Like it's all the time.
You can go. I'm
Okay, but like it's just like every day I'm thinking of my health. I'm thinking about like it like impairs you, if that makes sense. Like you can't just like function normally. That's why I take medication for it. And it's just like because my near-death experience had made me like the outcome of my life. I don't even care if I were to die tomorrow at this point, because I probably felt like the most happiest that I've felt, because like of everybody around me and everything like that. Like I don't care like if people give me sympathy if I got cancer or something like that. I'm not speaking it on anybody, but it's just like when I was in the same E that Gaston was talking about, that same E, when I was there,
Same
and we
E?
had E.
EE.
Think about our friend group.
Oh, like a
EE.
man named
Yeah.
E? Okay. I mean,
EE.
would he be mad if you're talking about E? You're talking about.
H-E.
Okay.
Yeah. But
wouldn't be
like,
mad,
when
but-
we were
Yeah, I don't think.
He wouldn't be mad.
Just call him from
Well,
Shimu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hashimo.
But like when we were at his place,
Hashimo.
and I literally felt like I had died.
I feel like if anything, saying Hashimu would probably be worse.
No, when we
Hashimu
had
would be
Because
worse.
Elijah's a really
We're
common
talking-
name.
yeah.
Elijah is a really common.
Yeah, it
name.
is.
So just bleep out Hashimu.
I mean, I felt like this was probably a lot of Hashimo, whatever.
But it's like as soon as we took those pills, it might have been maybe like 45 minutes later that
you
I
took
was
a pill?
sinking. Remember we were doing those
when we were at
edibles?
Elijah's, remember?
Okay.
That was my near-death experience.
Was it a perk?
night.
No,
Like,
it was literally
it was THC.
It was. I've never heard of THC capsules.
It was THC
Oh,
and a veggie
yeah.
capsule.
Yeah, but it was like pills,
sugar
and like a little dab,
Yeah.
like clear liquidy thing.
And we took those, and later on that night, I had believed that I was dead. Like I had laid down in the bed, and I was imagining everybody around me at like my fucking like funeral.
So
Like it was so like
That's your
it
mind. Can
was
go,
pretty much an ego death.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I was going to say, you were tripping there. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, is that like edible THC can make you trip, and like that's what happened to all of us that night. We were all fucking feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't there,
But I didn't
yeah,
have a
I
lot to
wasn't.
eat that night either.
Gaston wasn't there, but that was when me and Parker. I think I felt bad because
Well, 'cause
you
Derek-
went to go pass out into this room,
Yeah.
and then someone wanted to play fucking 2K.
Elijah and Jordan
Yeah,
were
and then we
playing
went
Yeah,
to start
they were
playing
just like,
2K.
hey, can I lay down and can
You're
I
like-
just
you're
lay
like,
down in my bed? And I was
like-
just like, yeah.
Dude,
in,
me
like,
and
a
But
whole-
yeah, I was uncomfortable as shit too. Me and Parker, our friend here, we were laying on the floor,
like
and
under his bed type
yeah,
shit.
we were just staring at each other, and we just looked at each other like, I wasn't trying to be like this, and I was like,
Yeah.
me
When,
neither.
like, the only thing we could talk about was how fucking high
Yeah,
we
it
were.
was- yeah.
Like, that
Yeah,
was
like-
the only thing we could talk about.
I'll do edibles again. I will never do that.
I have.
But
again.
that's not edibles. That's some
That
crackhead
was-
type
yeah,
shit.
that
You
was-
know,
that
like,
was
that
I swear,
completely
the next day,
different.
because I remember I got two. I did one, and my friend did two, and he got really fucked up. But I did the one, and then the next day I did it again, like a retard. But like I fucking, it was nowhere near the same. Not at all. It was
was-
like barely taking a.
I was
type
still
ish.
high the next day. We went to Cracker Barrel and I ate
I was too.
everything. Like I
That's what
went
you gotta
home.
do, yeah.
I went home and I was like, dude, I'm still high. Like, but it was a mild high, if that makes sense. Because like I had already gone through. Because I personally, I never tell people this, but it's like I believe that I had an ego death that night. Because I was just part of just like.
Is that the term? Like we talking like ego death?
It's,
Can you
it's
explain it, Parker?
Okay, so like
It's like acid type ish. Like you
Well,
like,
typically-
find yourself type ish, and you go,
typically an ego death, you find that on like psychedelics and shit. So like what it is, basically what everyone describes it as is like the barrier between you and the universe shatters and you lose all conscious of like concepts, you know, like anything you just lose concept of and you are just there.
I wasn't alive. Like
Yeah.
I was just there.
Yeah, I've had.
It-
yeah, like I don't think I've had an
sleep
ego death. Like
paralysis,
I don't
the
like. I don't
worst.
Like
think
the
I've
thing
had that.
is that you got to be really fucking
I've only
high.
had like almost panic attacks from high, but
Are we gonna continue with this?
Let Gaston say what he's about
oh,
to
yeah,
say.
yeah,
but-
sorry, you
yeah,
ego
yeah.
deaf. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
the I've maybe had 3 near-death experiences in my life. Like
Shit.
2 of them have been within the last like 5 years. Like,
Damn.
Yeah, like my first time, I remember like we used to have a big ass hill for my house. I remember I used to ride my bike down there, and there used to be cars with like no like stop sign or anything
It's alright.
or anything. So like I remember one time my cousins came over and they were like, we're gonna ride our bikes down this hill and we're gonna go. I was like, bet. And I was like, I'm not gonna hold no handbrakes or anything. So I just went straight down.
Oh, you're
and then
wild.
I saw the
That's what you do as a kid,
and
you just
out
go.
the corner of my eye, I saw the fastest moving fucking
Oh my
truck.
God.
Like zooming. And I remember seeing this truck and I was like,
You're like,
I might get hit.
did you
I
have
never
a
thought,
flash?
I
Like what
might
was it?
not.
Like, do you have a flashback as a kid? What do you do with that? Is it just slow down type of
What do you like when it was happening? When I saw the truck, I
Like,
literally
did everything
saw,
like happen normally, or did you like did shit, like in your own mind did shit like change? I'm
Like
saying.
adrenaline. He's talking about like did adrenaline.
Yeah,
I was like
hit you.
10 when it happened. When I saw that, I was like, it was like I don't know, it's like instinct, I guess. I like pulled my bike. I was still going full speed, but I didn't like. I was like spreading, like you know how like, you ride your bike, you sort of like pedal
Yeah.
down. I didn't pedal down. I was just like letting that shit like fly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
then
big
I,
ass- you're bombing.
swerved to the side, and then the truck like it barely like my
Yeah, but-
bike. I fell off my bike, and
Mike
my
Krogan.
bike. Oh yeah, my bike like slammed into that truck. He like destroyed.
Damn, for real? You actually did hit it?
hurt? Like
No,
break shit?
I fell off the bike.
Oh,
I fell off
Oh, the
the
bike
bike.
fled into the
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I fell off and I hit pure concrete. I'm talking
Damn.
about, but it wasn't pure. It was pure ass concrete. So it was like ass, then shoulder, then head. It was like
Damn.
pure.
You like tumbling
you
and
like-
shit?
Yeah, I like tumbled down, and then I remember like that dude just kept on driving. Like he didn't
He didn't
even.
give a fuck.
Like,
Bro,
he did not
come on
care.
now.
Like he did not
didn't
care
even
that his
check if
like
you
I
were
don't think he
okay.
realized his bike like my
I
bike
would
just
have
got
been,
destroyed.
my first reaction, I thought he'd be like, "You fucking piece of shit."
No,
kid."
like he
Right.
just
Yeah,
kept
that's what I
on. Like I
thought.
found my bike like maybe like 50 feet away. It was destroyed. Like it was like basically like he ran
Crumpled.
over like the middle part of it, so it was like looked
Bent
like
in
a
half type
yeah. And I was like, oh, my
Did
parents are
not
gonna be
stop. You
mad.
could give a
I'm
I remember I was
honestly-
gushing blood. I was like, I was bleeding
Damn.
down here. I
Dude.
was like, oh,
You had a
snap.
Call of Duty moment like.
Oh yeah, like
Had
the
the stem
stun
pack.
moment.
I'm honestly good for a part 2, to be honest.
Part 2 what?
of this.
Yeah,
that's what
my-
we
I
planned
think
on.
sadly my brother wants to come down here, so I think we have to move it up and then go to my room again.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
If we're good, I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't
Real
know
quick,
what to
real
do.
quick, since this builds off Gaston's story, it's a real quick story. So when I was a kid, there were not my next door neighbor, but the one next to it was a really weird family. Okay, like they were weird. They had these 2 kids who were just as weird, and one of them had gotten a bike for their birthday, I guess. And across from their house was this hill. Okay. And the hill was this road for a cul-de-sac, okay? And I walk outside and I see him on top of this hill with his bike, okay, across from his house.
Uh-huh.
And he just like, let's go. And he's just going down this hill at blazing fast speeds, you know. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. And I'm like, wait, is he going to stop? You know, and then these people have like a deck that is probably about as tall as this, okay?
Which is like up to your like knee.
It's probably 2 feet tall.
It's probably about 3 or 4 feet tall,
Yeah.
okay? It's pretty tall, okay? His bike hits this, okay, at full speed, this deck. The bike stops. He doesn't. He goes flying off the bike and splatters into like the wall of his house, okay? And I'm like, oh my God, this kid is dead. I'm like, this kid is gone. And, you know, and like I knew him.
Was he
So I was-
lifeless, or what did he do?
well, okay, so like he hit it right, like
Ragdoll just.
so like y'all know that one Vine where there's the one dude who just runs up and just
All the locker room shit.
yeah, it just jumps into the lockers. Like that's what it looked like, you know.
We were doing that at FC.
So
Yeah.
so he hits the wall like that and he falls, of course, and he's on the ground for like 10 seconds, and I'm like, dude, he's dead. You know, I'm like, there's no way. And he gets up. You know, he's a resilient kid, right? He just
Face
gets up.
caved in. Well, like nothing. Like
Nothing.
No,
Like he wasn't even bleeding or
I'm
nothing. Like
telling you, I
apparently he was good.
miss being that.
resilient.
Yes, because
You're
I
fucking
I,
Because
superhuman as a
children
kid.
are like pain free.
I'm
They're
telling
like they
you.
don't care.
He
I would
fucking
have
got
a
up, started
cut.
laughing and shit.
And
I
it
would have
heal
a cut on
instantly.
my knee,
Next day.
and the next day I'd be like, "Let's do it
I
again."
don't remember. Like I
Fuck
said, time
it.
kind of feels weird. I remember back in middle school we were talking about it. I had a terrible injury when I scraped my entire fucking knee skin off. If you remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that process not being long at all for my shit to heal. Like my entire from like my upper knee to like my fucking middle of my shins skin was just gone. It was pink and fleshy.
No, dude. Now we
there's
die.
just-
It's just pretty much
back.
now we just fucking bleed.
Get a
out and
paper
die.
cut, now you're out.
Oh my god.
You're
So
done.
that's fucking guts.
Yeah, you
Well,
want
All right. Well, y'all want to go ahead and call this one a quit?
On this podcast.
Yeah,
for the first
I'd say
episode.
this podcast is pretty successful.
Yeah.
I
Thank
think
you
so
for
too.
joining me. 2 blacks and a whites. And a brown.
Yes, sir.
Well, no, there's a
I'm a brown.
There's a
It's
caramel.
all right. I'm brown. I swear.
there's a caramel. There's 2 blacks and there's one white guy.
Vanilla whiffer.
People call me
Wafer.
People used to call me Oreo back in the day.
I get called by Oreo too.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right. We'll end this podcast.
Well, we'll see
see
you
you on
all
the next
later.
Bye. Thank you for joining us to Chill in Ville.
Yep. See you again.
All right, let's do the acapella. We can't all be trumpets. We need like cymbals and bass, dipshits. You gotta go.
Now, City, we are
Wait. Okay, you start, Peter.
Guys, get in.
Good. That's
Bass.
all, folks.
All right, we're done. We're done.
Alright,
See
gotcha.
you bitches later.